Hey yo, what's up? I'm Chef Vogue. Welcome to my channel. You are on Meet My People. Hey, you're right. Today I will be talking alone. The reason why there will be a lot of self-reflection today. So yeah, it's just you and me. Okay, I want to say that happy birthday, Singapore. Happy 55 years of independence. Yeah. I think Singapore has experienced a fair share of challenges over time. And I believe that this time around, we emerge stronger than before. Okay. Definitely, I would like to thank to our strong, united people who love Singapore with passion, right? And then I think our people like to celebrate one another achievements and have each other's back in during our rainy days. So I believe that our people will always be our greatest strength, and that is why I'm certain that Singapore will overcome the challenges amid of COVID-19. So here I want to wish for Singapore the best. Happy birthday. I hope all Singaporeans will continue to work together and helping one another. Okay, so let's build a Singapore full of hope, dream, and opportunities for our future generations because the young ones are the most important people. Ah. I hope all of you are looking forward for today's National Day Parade. Well, you have to just watch on TV. I just did because I managed to watch live the entire transportations. Just walk, just ride around my neighborhood. I'm staying at Anchorville area, so I can see all the different transportations. And that is so cool, yo. It was by the Singapore Armed Forces. Yeah, it's so cool to see them live there. Right. Coming back to today's talk or self-reflection and why I think it's important that as an individual, we have to reflect often. Okay. I believe self-reflection actually brings one's perspective. Yeah, because as we grow, we are being nurtured or our brought up differently, and our role model definitely will be our immediate family members because we grew up with them, right? But if you were to have another some sort of perspective from other people's view, it kind of widen how you see things around the world. Okay, so it actually help us to learn, grow, appreciate, and understand one another better. So in a sense that we dive in deeper into a wisdom, let's say, and we can find something beautiful or meaningful reflection. And definitely, if we kind of reflect something and we put into practice, that will be the greatest way to do so. Right. So, what happened recently? I kind of host an event to our local artists. Yeah. So in that discussion, they were sharing all their philosophy in life and their values, their belief, and they were highlighting on one thing that I felt, yeah, this is something that then we need to talk about. This is something that need to be discussed about. So what I could recall is that there's a guy, okay, his name is Rauzan, I would say. I didn't mind saying that. He's actually shared that within our community, especially if you see other people's success or achievements, let's celebrate it. Okay, let's think positive about it and not feeling otherwise. You see, that is so true, you know, because I believe it happens all along, especially as we grow up, where we in a context where we have a lot of people in us, and I think it starts way back in our primary schools, whereby we were graded based on our performance, right? In our report books, we would reflect how good our performance as a student, or even our grading. And what is a little bit of, I would say, disturbing is parents, some people's, if they would look into our record book and kind of make comparison with others. So that's where I think we have a sense of like competitive, like we want to compete with another person. We want to be better than the other person. Okay, I mean, it's good to feel in a sense that we want to grow ourselves, we want to go into the next level, but the feeling of jealousy, resentment, if it stuck that way, and how you're gonna act or behave or talk about it in certain manner, it might not go well at times, and that's when you kind of have doubt about your self-worth, you know. So having negative thoughts um, is gonna bring you somewhere that you don't want to be in that position at the first place, but because of what other people tell you to do this and that, and how you reflect, and what do you kind of build that values in you, it kind of affect it's going to affect how you're going to perform in future. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is to let loose these blocks in your life. Okay, let's try to be genuinely happy for other people's success or achievements, because if you do that, you're going to receive that back eventually. No matter what your level is, no matter who you are, what's your background, if you feel the need to succeed in life, if you feel the need that you want to bring all sorts of positivity and you want to move forward in your life, you have to do that to others as well. So that's the key thing. So this is something that I reflect a lot recently, and it it really, I don't know, you just build that how to say, it just bring a certain level of highlights to me, that this is really important, this is really essential for everyone to have all this kind of thinking and put into this value in you. So that's the reason I want to address it today. Yeah, right. Okay, so how do we even start that? How do we build that foundation of happiness by bringing happiness to others, but yet we're making yourself happy first, because that's important. If you're not happy, you continue to feel discontent, you continue to be dissatisfied with others because you're not happy. So there's no way you can be happy for others. Make sense? Right? So here it is. Most of us spend a lot of time like working to fulfill a need, or perhaps being responsive to the requirements of various roles or opportunities out there. Okay? So sometimes this thing can be good to us. It can be healthy, or it can be a normal thing. It's something common. But it can also be very unhealthy if we kind of detriment of our self-worth. Okay, so for most of us, it is also important to make our friends and family happy, right? Again, this is great as long as we do it in a healthy way. You paid enough attention to your own happiness. So how do we even start with that? Right, so the best thing to do is be the best version of yourself for you. For you. Yeah? Okay. So all of us engage in many activities to make other people feel like, like you want to look attractive to them, you want to impress them with our talent, our intelligence or insights, you see? And our motivation for doing this can be good and meaningful. But we may also try to be attractive to people to get validation of our worthiness. So this can be unhealthy, you see, right? So there's nothing wrong with trying to be attractive to others or wanting others to think highly of us. Okay, so anyone who's ever had the opportunity out there, be it on a date or try out for uh in a certain groups of councils or organizations they want to be at, that they feel that this is important to them. But when they got into the habit of start doing things, doing it for what they perceive is good for them. They have a second guessing. Okay, so our every word or action is based on how it will be perceived, on whether it will make people like us or accept us, like us, not like us, but people to like us or like me or to accept me. So we either don't trust our own judgment or care too much about others' reactions to how we present ourselves. All right, so it's a tricky part. Let me see if I can put this into a situation now. Okay, since I'm in my 30s now and definitely a working adult, fully employed, what I could say is that there will be colleagues, okay, who do better in their own strength, in their own skills or a sense of expertise. They're just damn good at it. Okay. So definitely in my heart, I will start to make comparison. Wow, oh, this one so good. Definitely my boss will kind of impressed the way this person are doing in certain way, and it's like a spotlight, it's like a limelight to this person in among our own department per se, our own department. So how should I feel about it at the first place? Should I feel jealous? Maybe a little bit. I'm gonna be honest, maybe a little bit. Yeah, damn, he's or she good at that. Why can't I be good at that? But if I were to just zoom into that sense, I kind of like have a self doubt in a way. Wasn't I have my own self worth? Wasn't I worthy of something? I have certain skills and expertise too in other areas completely. So why don't I just build that up? Because definitely the other person are not good as what I'm doing. You see? Right? So what kind of skills per se? Okay, in a sense, perhaps it's just a scenario. For me, my kind of skills that I've built up since my early career, I'm good in event management. That's my forte because, and it requires a lot of practice. Okay, it took me for about, let me see, is it a decade? Yeah, it's a decade though. And I've I really start from below, meaning to say start from scratch, where I was guided from doing how do you want to do outreach. Okay, you need to learn how to even do publicity. So what does it mean by that? You have to go to the ground. You need to understand your people need, my community needs, in a sense, and what would entice them to come forward to my event, right? So how do I do that? I need to have the idea on how to create my publicity, say my poster, the banners, or the advertisement they're going to put up in a social media somewhere. How is it like at a glance they look at the leaflet, they were like, oh my god, this is cool. I want to go. Oh my god, this is what I need at this point of time. That's why I must go. You know. So in meeting the needs of the people that I'm reaching out is very much important, right? Yeah. That's one of the key skills. Um, Another thing, people skills, people person, you must be able to interact well with other people, right? You, in a sense that um, how well do you know what are the needs down there? So as you had that conversation with others, you kind of get a gauge like, okay, this is what the areas of what is needed at this point of time, and how then with resources that you have with you, you can actually reach out to the person or help this person out. So people skills is important. You must get that level, the sense of language, the sense where you act. But say like if this person like really lepak dorang how to say they don't want to hear you speak good English or super cheap English. They just want to hear layman term, like how you speak in Pasa language or Singlish language. You're just gonna speak in that manner because that's how you get to your people. You see. And sometimes you have to wear different hats altogether. You can be where your event that you're supposed to be at in a meeting or a certain conference where you have to be more formal and professional. Definitely, you have to speak in a professional way. You cannot speak in a layman term or very English, right? So if you're at the ground with the people and if there's a need, because you want to be more relatable to them, connect to them closely. That's how you're supposed to interact with one another. right? So you must have a sense of vibes, how you're gonna gauge with certain dynamics of people. So there's people skills. What else? Um, and how you actually try to deliver on what you offered, on what the opportunity that you're trying to give it to the people there. Okay, so how you actually talk to your customer, just like how you want to sell something, but this one in different way lah. Because for me, it's like I've been working for the community. So in a sense that I would likely be meeting their basic needs. Perhaps they are looking for particular courses or job opportunities or other areas of their life that they may need kind of like counseling or mentoring. So I'm kind of the person that will be there to offer such service. Uh, so that's another key skills. What else? How about pre-planning the entire event? Okay, when you kind of plan for an event ahead. Okay, but say the event gonna happen in 6 months away. Okay, so what you got to do? You have to do a lot of pre-planning, right? You have to look into your current resources, like how much budget you have in hand, what are the resources? Resources meaning your time. What will be your timeline? How many people you have? How many manpower do you need support for this event? And the logistics part. Do you need transportation? Then you have to think about food. You have to think about everything that is needed to kind of accomplish for the event. So there's a lot of things that you have to come up with. Okay, definitely at first you need a proposal before you spearhead the event itself. So see, from here you can understand that this is what I'm good at, right? So there's other people who can do what I do? Yes, perhaps, but to what extent? Because different people plan or do is their own style of working. Some are good, some are totally they can't even do it, because they need the more support, the more role to come together to make this event happen. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that we may have the same skills, that we might have the same expertise, but it can also be like we do it different way, in a unique way, that there's no one else can duplicate what you do. You see, so your kind of level, or the kind of that you have succeeded in life, is different phase altogether. Just like how people go through their life journey, we are going through different phase altogether. The fact that most of us growing up married, have kids, have a house, da da da, but not all have it, right? Or maybe all have it, but not all go through the same kind of experience, right? So that's what I'm trying to say. You see, so just look into what you have at this point of time. What are you good at? What is your expertise? What your experience? What's your skill? What's your talent? Your insights? Your networking with people? Or do you have this? No one can take this from you, and you have to be confident with that, right? Yeah. So that is what I'm trying to convey lah. Okay. So you have to strive to be the best version of yourself for your own sake. Okay, because this is the only way to make you happy, right? So think about something you do to impress someone else. uh, now think honestly about whether or not does this brings you joy, does it makes you proud, or you actually enhance your self-esteem. If there's nothing in it for you, you should take a long hard look at the things that you do that would motivate you and engage to it. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with doing something to make others people like you. But you should spend most of your time doing things for you. That may sound okay. Sometimes it may sound maybe a little bit selfish, but making choices for you, it actually helps you to develop the best version of yourself, people. Okay.